Hi children, how are you? I hope all of you are fine and safe and home. And of course, watching my videos, my channels, and taking advantage of the full knowledge of mine. So, hi there, this is Ritu Tamred, and you're watching my channel, Social Studies with Ritu. And if yet you have not subscribed to my channel till now, then I don't know, guys, what you're waiting for. Do subscribe to my channels and also turn on the bell icon so that you get the regular notifications of all my videos as I'm uploading them. Okay, then let's get started with the next part of the chapter, which was structure of the earth, no doubt. And in the first part, we had finished up to here. Let me, okay, up to here we had finished. Up to here we had finished. So we are gonna start from here. Though these two layers are in a solid state, so if you want to have the better understanding of the chapter, you must I would rather suggest you guys to go to the first part of the chapter first, and then I mean watch that video before this, and after that you'll have a better understanding of this part. Anyways, let's get started with the second part, which is like from here. Though these two layers are in solid state, the lighter Sial is considered as floating on the denser Sima. So I have told you guys in the first part of the chapter that Sial is lighter and Sima is denser. Okay, so that's why this is the reason that Sial is floating on Sima, and this is how the theory goes of Wegener's continental drift theory. So this is how the supercontinent Pangaea broke into pieces, and it broke into two pieces first of all. So let me first show you the picture. So it first broke into two pieces, which were like Gondwana and Laurentia, and after that again it got into seven pieces, which were like now are known to us as our continents, seven continents. So that's how the picture goes here. This is the Pangaea. So million of years ago, this was the picture of the continent Pangaea, and this broke into two pieces, I think, from here, from the equator itself. And these two parts, one part is Gondwana and second part is Laurentia, and after that they got, or they broke into different seven pieces. So how they broke into pieces, and because the Sima, the Sial is floating over Sima, and that's why it come to this. See here, this lighter Sial is floating over Sima. That's why this was possible for the for that continent to, I mean, to break into seven pieces and got apart. Fine. And this is how the theory goes of Wegener's continental drift theory. I have told you the composition of crustal layer of great interest, because we get most of our minerals from the crust of the earth. We know that the rocks are made up of minerals, and that's how we get the minerals from these rocks, and that's why this composition of crystal layer is of great interest for us. So it also has a valuable soil layer, which is essential for the growth of both cultivated and wild plants. So here, this is the place where we get the valuable soil, and which is quite essential for the growth of plants. Of course, the physical features of the earth's crust influence land use and other human activities, and of course the physical features upon the earth have got a huge influence on the life of the people living on the earth, or also on the human activities. I mean, the activities being done by human beings. The density of human population also depends on the nature of relief features. Of course, this is I mean this is also dependent on the kind of relief features which are there on the surface of the earth, and this is how it goes, like what kinds of relief features are there, and according to it human population want to settle down around that area. Okay, so let's go to the next page. So this has appeared on the next page of this chapter, which is like the inner construction of the earth, which I have already told you guys about. So we'll start from your mantle or mesosphere. Fine, this is the boundary between the crust and the mantle is called moho or moho, uh, which is like moho rovish's discontinuity, density of 3.3 grams cm cube. Okay, this is actually, let me come to the picture, this is actually the boundary between the crust and the mantle, which is called moho. Crust and the mantle. Here actually the picture is so hazy, so here is it, here it is moho. See, this one is moho, this one is moho, because this is the boundary between these two layers, which is crust and mantle. Okay, and the density is it, the density is this, rather the density between this and Gutenberg discontinuity is 3.7. so what is this, I mean Gutenberg discontinuity, so boundary between moho rovish's discontinuity is the boundary between crust and the mantle, and Gutenberg discontinuity is the boundary between the mantle and the core, and the density is this, and this layer was named after the Yugoslav scientist Andrea Mohorovic, who discovered it. The Gutenberg discontinuity was named after German seismologist named Benno Gutenberg. Okay, these are not like some of the things which you can read on your own, and this is also a kind of layers of earth. This is how it goes, and let's come to this part. The mantle of the earth lies between the crust and the earth. I have already told you guys about all this. The mantle has an average thickness of this. It consists of mixed silicates, metals, magnesium, iron, and is rich in olivine. The density is this, varies between this and this data. So these are the things you can go on your own. Upper mantle or asthenosphere. The upper mantle or asthenosphere is in a partially molten state. Okay, that means I mean it is neither solid nor liquid. So this is something which is partially molten. The velocity of earthquake waves decreases in it, and hence it is referred to as the lower velocity zones. Why? Because earthquake waves, the waves, earthquake is a kind of made up of waves, so there are so many waves when earthquake comes on the surface of the earth. But here in this asthenosphere, these waves kind of sort of decreases, like that's why it is also called the lower velocity zones, because here in this zone the earthquake waves lessen down. Okay, so the lower mantle is called mesosphere. Okay, though the temperature of this air is high, quite high, the average temperature is this. However, the hot rocks rising from the interior of the earth often melt in the lowest depths, forming molten magma. Okay, however, the hot rocks rising from the interior of the earth often melt in the lowest depths, forming molten magma. So what happens actually, the temperature of this layer is quite high, that is 850 degrees Celsius in the upper region and 2208 degrees Celsius in the lowest region. However, the hot rocks rising from interior of the earth and often melt. In this highest degree Celsius, the rocks start melting and they are there in their molten state, which is called magma. So the high pressure of the overlying layers keep this layer in a solid state. So I have already explained that even if in these states or in these layers, there are high temperature, but because of the high pressure, layers these layers are unable to be melted because of, everything I have, you can go to the first part of this chapter, you can understand everything. So the core of the earth or barysphere, the density of the core is 13 gram cm cube with the center is so density of the core is this, okay, and it is a compound of alloys of carbon, silicon, iron. Due to the high temperature, nickel and iron are found in a molten state, okay. So this is the core part, not the inner core, because inner core is solid. This is the outer core, okay, and this is where nickel and iron are in their molten state. The liquid iron generated its own electricity, and so under pressure the core is the source of the earth's magnetic field. So this is how the magnetic field actually magnetic fields around the earth are created, because these iron generate electricity over here. See the picture here, see, because this is iron, and again I am not going into the deeper into the things, because this is something which is related with your chemistry, so I am not going deeper into that. You can ask your teacher of chemistry about all these things. So because of this, I would like to tell you only that because of the electricity generated by the liquid iron in the core, these earth's magnetic fields are being prepared or being created rather. So let's go to the next page. So according to some scientists, at the center of the earth there is a nucleus of high density atoms, and descended from the atoms that were beginning of our solar system, okay. So according to some of the scientists, like I told you in the beginning of the chapter, or I repeatedly tell you, that these are all the things which are based upon the research of the scientists which are till now done. No scientists are still sure, or no research R&D has still confirmed as to what is right and up to what extent, if it is right, up to what extent this is right and what's wrong and everything about that. So everything is now dependent upon the kind of research till now has been done, fine. So some of the scientists, there are two scientists are divided according to their opinions about everything they are researching about, or everything which is being researched in the present days, or whatever it's been there for last 200 or 300 years. So still the scientists are divided into different groups according to their own opinions, fine. So some of the scientists believe that at the center of the earth there is a nucleus of high density atoms. There are atoms which are there in the nucleus which are of high density, and this has descended from the atoms that were in the beginning of the solar system. So million of years ago, when the solar system came into existence, so the kinds of atoms the solar system is made up of course. So the kind of atoms the solar system was creating itself, and at that time the solar system was creating itself, containing those kinds of atoms at that time, and the same atoms are found in the core, in the nucleus of the earth. The core of the earth has a radius of 3500 kilometer. It consists mostly of metals, nickel and iron. As nickel and iron are the two most abundant metals, the core is called Nephi. I have told you this also in the beginning of the chapter. The density of the core is between this and this, 13 to 15. This denser layer is also called barysphere, okay. This I mean, this paragraph is talking about the core of the earth, which is the radius of it is 3500 kilometer, and the metals it is made up of, which is nickel and iron, and this is called barysphere. Fine. So the core of the earth is estimated to have a temperature of about 5000 degrees Celsius, and the metallic core and the abundance of iron also explains the earth's magnetism. This is the thing which in the last page also we have read, that because of the electricity generation of this core area, the earth has got its magnetism. And usually the core is divided into inner and outer core, which we know. I have told you in the starting of the chapter all these things. So first of all, you can go to the first part of the this chapter and you can understand everything. Fine. The outer core behaves like liquid and does not allow earthquake waves to pass through. Okay, the inner core is solid and the outer core is in liquid state and does not allow the earthquakes waves to pass through it. The greatest depth reached by human beings into Earth's crust is 8 kilometer only when drilling for oil, not for a thousandth part of the distance from the center of the Earth. So this is, I mean, human beings are not still able to go deeper into the depth of the Earth's core, like till now. I mean, human beings have been able to reach only 8 kilometers, or human beings are able to traveled only 8 kilometers in the I mean, as far as the distance within the earth is concerned. So this is not even the thousandth part of the distance from the core of the earth, and I mean from the surface of the earth. Fine. So this is, I mean, this chapter is ended here. So we'll meet with the next chapter in our next video. So again I'm telling, if you like my ways of teaching, my ways of explanation, do subscribe to my channel and also turn on the notification bell, so that you get all my videos and all my updates as I'm uploading them. And also, if you like my ways of teaching, so I please expect at least one thumbs up from you guys. So okay, let's meet in the next video with some next chapter. Till then, bye bye.